Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be discussing about how medical and legal system work to contain such a pandemic disease which is currently running now. And if you feel like that by restricting you at your home, there is violation of your human rights or your fundamental rights, then you need to watch this video. The World Health Organization has already declared a pandemic situation in the world due to the coronavirus. And if you feel like that there is a restriction of your fundamental rights in India, so I want to tell you that your fundamental rights are not absolute. They can be restricted under some situations. Situations like the interest of the public at large. And you know that this is a public interest right now because the government want to give you a right to health. It should be healthy situation for all people. The second thing is that when there is a question of sovereignty and security of the nation, then there can also be a restriction. When there is a public order and government want to maintain that particular order, they can induce curfews and all those things to maintain that public order. And other situations like maintenance of the friendly relation with the foreign countries and promotion of the well-being of backward class and the promotion of well-being of the women. So all these situations, your fundamental rights can be restricted. And you know that in this particular situation, there is an interest of the public at large and they want to impose the public notices like curfew. I also wanted to tell you that there has been a law which is very old, the Epidemiological Disease Act of 1897. It is 123-year-old law. It has been invoked by Indian government. So what is this law and what does it say? So first of all, there are few sections of this law. Only 4 sections are there in this law. It's a very small law, maybe the smallest law in the Indian Constitution. What does it say? Whenever your state feels that a state or its part threatened by an outbreak of any epidemic disease or a dangerous disease, and they feels like that ordinary provisions cannot stop or contain that particular disease, then may take or empower any person to take measures by public notices. You know that the public notice has been issued by Delhi also. By public notices or temporary regulation necessary to prevent that particular epidemiological disease. So this is the law, and this is the section 2 of this particular law, which gives the power to the state to actually invoke this particular situation in their state. Even the central government can also invoke all those things. The first state which actually started this particular law during 2020 is Karnataka. And this law is very old. I told you that it's around 1897. There has been a lot of situations where Epidemic Disease Act has been imposed. Like in 1897, there was a condition of plague. It was just like an epidemic which was spreading around the country. And there is also a definition and there is a close difference between epidemic and pandemic. This act doesn't explain this. It only talks about the epidemic disease, but the current situation is a pandemic disease. But still, the epidemic disease law, this is the only law which is there in the Indian Constitution. That's why it has been invoked. Pandemic situation means when the disease has been spreaded all over the world and there is no such boundary of this particular disease. In epidemic, it is restricted to particular geographical area and it outbreaks suddenly. In both the situations, the disease outbreaks suddenly, but in epidemic, it is restricted, but in pandemic, it is growing to the masses and it's growing away from the boundaries of a country and there is no geographical boundaries. So pandemic is the larger picture of epidemic diseases. So this is Epidemic Disease Act. The sections, like 3 sections also give a provision of punishment under the IPC 188. There can be both fine and imprisonment. That's why if this law has been enacted, then the government or the police can actually arrest you and then can impose the fine. If I talk about the section 2 also say that they can segregate, they can inspect, they can test you forcibly, and they can segregate you to a place where you will be restricted at particular area so that you don't spread that particular disease. And it is everything, these things are already written in this particular act. That means it's not nothing new that the government is doing and they are not following the law. They are very well following the law and they have the right due to this particular act to impose all those things which I have already told you. So this is the situation actually. And the section 4 of this particular law give protection to the person acting under this act. That means no suit or other legal proceeding shall be lie against any person for anything done in good faith intended to be done under this act. And that means the policy maker, because this act gives power to the policy maker or a person, it empowers the person to make and issue the public notices. And if that particular notice is in the good faith of this particular act, then there will be no legal proceeding. So that means that this act gives both freedom to the policy maker and actually restrict you to your places, because there is the interest of the public at large and there is no violation of your human rights or fundamental rights. This is actually restricted. So that's why please be seated wherever you are, because this disease is very much contagious. Contagious means that it is spreading very fast rate. I mean, it's like, a single person can infect more than 2.5 people in a day. That means it's huge. And in fact, if I talk about other variants, I mean the COVID-2 and its similar genetic structure like SARS-CoV was the one which has been diagnosed many years back. But this virus is little bit different from its previous one, and its structure is little complex and it is more contagious. I'm talking about contagious, but mortality rate is less as compared to the previous viruses. It's not like SARS, MERS, influenza, all these viruses were already known to the human being. But this virus is actually spreading at very fast rate, and we actually don't have enough understanding of this particular virus even now also. We can say that it actually stays very long period of time on some surfaces and all. So that means there are a lot of things which needs to be done to prevent it, and restriction at your home is the most important thing. The healthcare people who are actually doing the treatment of these kind of cases, they if they are following proper norms, they are actually using proper norms to treat the patients, then they are absolutely safe. So that means no need to panic, but we need to follow the law and the guidelines of the doctor which are issued in the public day by day as the disease is progressing. And together we can definitely restrict this particular disease. So that's all for now. And if you have any question, please write into comment section and I'll be glad to answer your questions. And I'll keep making videos like this to improve your knowledge. And thank you so much. Please do like and subscribe this video and share to the masses. So thank you so much.